Hi, my name is Jelmar Vargas. We're here at EnerCom Dallas 2019. I'm sitting down with Geopark, CEO of Geopark. How are you?
Very nice. Thank you for inviting us here.
Yeah, we're excited to have you. How are you enjoying the conference so far?
Very nice. Very nice. An interesting group of people and companies.
Definitely. All right, well, let's get right into it. Thank you for taking the time to speak with us today. Can you give us a quick elevator pitch for Geopark for those that aren't familiar with your company?
Thank you. So, best place, best team, best returns, best resources, best plan, unlimited upside.
All right.
So 16 years ago, we had a crazy idea to build a Texas-style oil and gas independent in Latin America. And today, after beginning from scratch, and with just a little money in our pocket, we now have, let me show you a map here if I can, we have operations in 5 countries, in 9 different basins, over 30 blocks, over 5 million acres.
Yeah.
We're producing over 40,000 barrels per day, and we're operating over 70,000 barrels per day. We have proven and probable reserves certified at 184 million barrels that have been valued at $2.7 billion. We have over 1 billion barrels of exploration resources that have been certified. We have over $300 million of EBITDA and over $100 million of free cash flow, and a relentless, continuous, year-by-year track record of growing production, reserves, and value. And all of this being done by paying out of our own pockets, by our own cash generation.
Yeah.
So we are the go-to guys in Latin America, and we feel we're just getting started.
That's exciting to hear. I mean, I've definitely heard great things, and that's an amazing chart to show. For those out there who are familiar with oil and gas here in the United States and in Canada, can you tell us what makes Latin American assets so competitive? How do these assets compare to assets U.S. investors are more familiar with, such as the Permian?
Low risk, low cost, big returns, big resource, all you need, no competition. So Latin America is the best place to invest in the oil and gas business today. It has big, proven, underdeveloped and underexplored hydrocarbon basins.
Yeah.
It has a welcoming business environment where you can, where everything you need to successfully and rapidly build a business. And while all our oil brothers here are scrambling over every acre here in North America, this whole southern continent has been left wide open. And you asked about the Permian. So compared to that, our well costs on our projects, our well costs are half.
Yeah.
The recovery and production we get from each well is twice. And we have no upfront acreage costs. So just think about that. If the average to assemble our particular portfolio of acreage across Latin America using a Permian dollar per acreage, that would have cost $15 billion.
Wow.
So, but Geopark is the only company that has positioned itself across this continent with the people, the assets, the capital, the reputation to capture this big prize.
So Latin America has the second largest hydrocarbon resource potential after the Middle East. What sort of infrastructure exists inside the country to help support its development, and where does your production ultimately end up?
So the Latin American economies are thriving, and they're thirsty for energy. And each has a growing demand for oil and gas. So, and remember, the oil and gas industry has been around for over 100 years in the region. And there's great infrastructure that allows access to and transportation out of the proven basins in the region. It's actually a misconception of the region. In many places, the infrastructure has been overbuilt. And of course, in addition, there's ports, there's roads, there's services that you need, there's capital, and there's some of the best professionals in our industry are from Latin America. So for example, when we started our company, we were at the very tip of South America. Yeah. And we started with little stripper production, 30 barrels a day. And because of the infrastructure, we could still profitably transport and market our oil way down at the end.
So Jim, what advantages are there in being positioned in several different countries across Latin America? What are some of the lessons learned in one country that can be transferred to another?
We have a big value proposition to become the first pan-Latin American independent. And to achieve that, those big long-term rewards, we use a portfolio approach, which means we have multiple risk-balanced projects in multiple basins managed by independent teams. And collectively, this gives us a great growth engine, which protects our downside, but gives us multiple upside drivers.
We're seeing an increased push by companies to develop cultures that support strong corporate social responsibility. How does Geopark think about corporate social responsibility?
Well, more than think about it, this really is who we are. This is our DNA. This is our competitive advantage. This is our gran chingada. We have designed an in-house value system, integrated value system we call SPEED. Safety, prosperity, employees, environment, and community development. And this mix really defines our character and drives our behavior. It makes us the partner of choice. It makes us the best neighbors. It allows us to attract and retain the best people, and it puts a powerful wind at our back to do more.
We're also seeing a big push from the investment community for companies to spend within cash flow to support their growth. Can you give us some insight how Geopark thinks about putting capital to work, especially considering it's across several different assets?
So, and regarding your question, really, let's address three key components. So one is capital and cost efficiency. So the lowest cost, most productive guy always wins in anything. And we have driven our operating costs down such that 90% of our production is cash flow positive at $25 to $30 a barrel. Also, every dollar we invest packs a punch. So for every dollar, we have, our record shows we're getting multiples of that dollar in our net present value valuations. Two, the self-funding. So we are a cash generation machine that's spitting out more and more cash all the time. Over $300 million this year with a free cash flow of $100 million. So that, and we pay for those capital expenditures out of that cash that is coming in. And the third part is capital allocation, which we've designed, developed a methodology which makes sure that that all of our dollars go to the right projects that bring most value to our shareholders.
All right, well, thank you, Jim. It was great to sit down with you, and I'm looking forward to seeing you at the rest of the conference.
Okay, well, thank you. Thanks for your time and interest. And again, we invite you to come see Latin America so you can see all this stuff. What a wonderful place it is to work.
I'm booking my flight. Leave that in.